All right. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. And welcome back. Welcome back to the Polyhedra Show. I'm joined here today with our CMO, Sam Pearson. How you doing, Sam?
Hey Tony, man, I'm doing good. How are you, man?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm excited to get into this one. I might
Can you
actually
hear me?
just quickly. I can hear you. I can definitely hear you. And can you hear me? Okay. My private office
Yeah, I
is
can. I
being
can hear. I can hear you, man. I hear.
awesome, awesome. I'm in the big office today. I've got a lot of people
No
in
worries
here.
at all.
My
Sorry, guys. I'm on the road. I'm on the. No worries. No, I'm on the road in between meetings. So, but was really excited. I had a super busy day, but was really excited to just get on and chat egg with the community.
awesome. Well, yeah, let's get into it because this is a big one today, Sam. We're getting in the kitchen, and we're finally cracking open egg. Um, I might just
Right on,
start with
man.
a little bit of a background about the platform. I guess as a creator yourself, Sam, and
Yeah.
myself, we've watched creators, juggle all of these tools, more tools than ever before. You have a video editor here and a music compiler here and a storefront here, and obviously just a lot of different mediums. And the idea with Egg is we figured, it shouldn't be that hard. So this is a version one as our MVP of our AI kitchen, where your ideas can become a reality, and your agents can help you build and publish and monetize your creative business from one place, without the tabs and the chaos and everything else, just flow. Um, and more than that, we are building this in public. So again, you'll see this is version one, and we're really excited to bring this to you guys. The MVP is live now. Roadmap is open, and today we're going to walk you through it. So right here, let's get started. Of
So
course,
I'll just jump
uh,
in. I'll just jump in quickly, Tony. And I think that's a really good. That's a really good recap. I think from our perspective, we have so many developer tools, and we've been really working on really the end game for AI in terms of what we think is going to be incredibly important. In terms of developer and kind of enterprise tools, I should say both for AI and kind of finance. But with Egg, it gives us a real opportunity to be able to release product for consumer, which I think given our vibrant community and building back after our crash, we really wanted to focus on what we can get in the hands of the consumer. And in the past, I probably I like to get things out, so this is nowhere near the end game of Egg. You can see on the blog that we wrote, and we'll go into a bit more detail, like where this roadmap will take us. But you know we really want to be the end game for basically putting together AI tooling. So AI tooling I see is like a way to democratize or level the playing field when it comes to basically building wealth. And then but the issue with AI is then kind of how do you monetize that? And that's why I think the Web3 kind of crypto toolkit that we're building alongside of that um, will give people opportunities to be able to, use their imagination, create things, beyond their kind of wildest dreams with the hottest AI tools and plugins available. And then the distribution comes through kind of our crypto tooling, and then, we'll get into it a bit later, but Polyhedra's native infrastructure plus the currency of Egg will be ZKJ. So, and again, another big utility where people will be able to get discounts and access to better models, for instance, if they're actually purchasing tokens. I say tokens, I mean AI tokens to power their vision. So Sorry, I wanted to set the, take your good words, Tony, and frame the kind of setup of why we're doing this before we jump in.
Beautiful, man. Love it. So I'm going to jump right in. This is the homepage. On the right hand side here, you have your login. Pretty simple. You can go through those steps. Again, it's egg.party. So we encourage all of you guys to get involved. At the bottom of the screen here, we have a feedback form. So any ideas that you have, again, we're building this in public. So we want any and all feedback on how we can develop it, even insofar as how the dashboard should look and function, and any ideas that you have. Obviously, we have a lot of great marketplace partners at Polyhedra, so these will all be integrated as we build out, and we're going to show you through version 1 today. So let's get into it. Let's get cooking. So let's jump into Explore here. This is your general dashboard with, you've got some recommended agents here and a whole bunch of stuff that you can discover that we've been playing around in the back end. But I'll go through to, I'll start down here. This is your profile, add your name, your handle, connect a few of your social profiles. Obviously that we'll keep building that out. But to get started, we have a few agents that I've pinned up here. So we've got the painter, the create agent. This is a really, really important one for you to be able to create your own agents that we'll get into in a minute. You can actually reset this chat over here. So let's do that so it starts completely fresh. And we've got our assistant that can kind of talk you through and help you with any questions that you may have. So let's get started with an agent that I've spun up. It's called the co-founder. So we're going to start just with a very, very simple idea. Maybe you've just got a creative idea or something you want to do and you're not sure where to start. This is where to start with your co-founder. So I'm going to write a prompt here asking, I want to create a business. Let's say I want to create a game. I'm going to use AI and VR to generate historical walkthroughs of ancient civilizations. Think the pyramids, etc. Historical walkthrough. So I'm just going to prompt my co-founder with that and see what he comes up with. So cool. So we've got kind of like a stepped out process here that the co-founder has identified, which is first we want to define our core vision and UVP, unique value. Then look at key features to consider, egg party ecosystem integration, and next actions. So I'm just going to say, look, leave it up to my co-founder here and say, generate me a pitch for the game, including the title. And let's see how creative our co-founder gets. Obviously, you can keep building this out and idea it as you go along. So we've got the game title here, which is Echoes of Eternity, VR Journeys Through Ancient Civilizations, and just a basic pitch that it's come up with, about the game. So my next idea here would be to ask my co-founder. You can also ask the assistant, as we already have the information in this thread. I'm going to say, give me a list of agents/team members to create in order of importance to build out our team to make this game a reality. Let's see what agents it's going to recommend for us to build out Echoes of Eternity. All right, so it's got, we need a historical content curator, an AI storyteller, VR environment designer agent, user experience agent, etc., etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to say I want to create a VR environment. Actually, let's go a user experience and an interaction agent. I'm going to go across to here to my create an agent, and I'm essentially just going to copy and paste that right in there. Actually, wait, with my co-founder, I'm actually going to say, yeah, generate a prompt for the UX agent with instructions for how to build the game. Now, if I do this, it's going to make this agent that I create far more, granular and in line with the game that we're trying to create. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this just so we can make it a little bit faster here. Copy and paste that into the create an agent and see what it comes up with. Cool. So now I'll say, please add the 4 fields that we look for an agent is the name of the agent, description, the prompt, and the avatar. So I'm just going to ask it to add the description and the avatar into here. Great. And now we've got that. I'm just going to say yes. Hopefully this generates our agent here for us. Oh, it's asking for the description. Sorry, 1 second. Description. Yes. Okay. Good. You generate the avatar for me. Just thinking it out. Cool. So everything looks good. Please confirm. So yes. And now it's generating the agent for us. So you can see here it's created a little avatar for our agent. Now we've got our user experience and interaction agent. So I'm going to go ahead and add that as one of my agents, which comes up on the left here. And I'll go back to the chat in a second. But now I'm going to go to my co-founder. I'm actually going to say, you know what, I'm talking to you a lot. So on the right-hand side here, I'm just going to pin that agent to the top so that everything is nice and clean. And I'll say, what is the first prompt for our UX agent? Awesome. So I've got the prompt here, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy the task and the deliverables, jump into my agent that understands what we're trying to do, and I'll just give it those instructions that my co-founders give me. And while that's being generated, I might just show you guys, you can jump in here to the Discover section. I've created a bunch of agents before. You can just click on the Created by Me button up here, and we have a whole lot of, agents that I've created. So maybe we'll jump into one of these two. Seeing as it's a game, I think a good one would be the Lore Weaver, which essentially is built to create expansive universes. So we'll add that one. I'll jump into chat, and the Lore Weaver is ready to go as well. But while we're doing that, you can see that the UX agent has come up with really granular descriptions of what we need to do. So the onboarding and tutorial phase, which covers locomotion, object interaction, triggering AI dialogues and such. So you can see as we're going, everything is very organized, right? Like we've got a UX agent here that's going to know exactly what to do in UX. You can kind of think about these as GPTs, but as we build out and obviously are including a lot of our different marketplace partners and onboarding more models, you'll see that the abilities are going to be growing. But obviously, again, open
Yeah,
to all of you guys.
yeah, and that's going to be so exciting. I mean, once guys, as we said, we're building in public with this one, and this is very much version 0.1. Once when we have we already have 12 APIs on our marketplace, but we're in discussions to be getting in bed with a lot more, and it's going to be so cool when you have the capabilities to just turbocharge anything with the world's top not just creative tools, but we had a conversation with Lagoria, the Swedish legal plugin, um, and there's lots of people that want to access our audience in the AI space. So I just wanted to. I think that was awesome, Tony. You running us through, this first version, and just wanted to double down on some color that, yeah, it's almost going to be like having an app store. Having basically an app store or a plugin store on Adobe or whatever, where you can basically come and just access different models, different plugins, and all the different kind of tools that you need to iterate your personal digital business plus monetize it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you're anything like me, you're juggling 20 subscriptions and jumping between 10 platforms to ship one piece of content, and it does feel disconnected. I'm getting notifications that like, hey, your subscription payment just came through for this model, and I'm like, I actually haven't used that in a while. So in a way, having just one amalgamated marketplace and dashboard where you can do it all in one is obviously where a lot of things are heading, and it's really, really cool, right? I mean, even just I've trained, say, a GPT thread on what's the best way to prompt a video generation, and it will hallucinate often, like very often. So, for example, here I've just put in, let's build some lore. It being a game, I wanted to build some lore for the game and see what it comes up with in terms of storytelling. Because right now it's very, very basic. It's just like you can, explore ancient places. So this is cool, right? Now it's said the core mythos. It's created a whole bunch of roles, like players role. You've got the keepers, the echoes, civilizations as living worlds. It's talking about narrative continuity and Easter eggs that you can hunt for, and also like the visuals and audio aesthetics, given some ideas about that to keep in line with the lore. So that's pretty cool. And now we're building a storyline around it. So I might just jump back here and go to just to showcase a few more of these. What have we got? Maybe let's do you know what? Let's go. I've got one here called Pika Hero, and I'm going to add that because I want to create, now that we've kind of got some lore behind it, I want to create a prompt that's going to have the introduction for the game, for example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this prompt into the lore weaver did, and I'm going to put it into the Pika Hero and say, please generate me an prompt for the introduction to this game. And then I'm just going to copy and paste that over. And then this agent has been trained on the best way to do the prompt. Right? So there's the prompt here. It's based that on the lore and everything. So I'm just going to jump across here to a video generation tool, and I'll chuck that in, and we'll see what it comes out with. Second. And while that's running in the background, cool. So that's all done. Now, like, here's just some other ideas. I mean, what I've done before is I was generating these agents that actually all came from this process of starting with a co-founder and then asking like, what's some things that I might want to know, about the game, or whatever business you're creating. And one thing that it came out with which I thought was really, really cool was like, I think like here's one, like an ethical watchdog, which is, make sure that it's creative and safe and aligned with the brand values, right? So I'm going to add in the ethical watchdog. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy our law again here. Actually, think it's already pasted off. I'll just copy the law here and I'll put it into this just in case there's something that I'm missing. You never know if something might be culturally insensitive or something. So this is giving me some advice here, right? So it's saying like when depicting civilizations like Egypt, Rome, lost empires, ensure that the portrayals avoid stereotypes or oversimplification. Maybe some of the rituals that's still considered sacred, so be careful. And like also play impact and agency, inclusive language, etc. So this is cool things to keep in mind when you're building a game, right? Because you don't want to get into any trouble, or you want to make sure that you're being inclusive. So let's say now we're like, great, we've got the UI, the UX, we've got the intro. Now let's I want to see how. Here's reaction profit. It's called. I want to see how certain demographics going to react to my games, right? So again, I'm just going to copy and paste the law in there, and we'll see what boomers think and what some VC bros think. So we've got the boomers, their reactions. Some potential concerns is they want clear educational value, not too much sci-fi jargon. Great to know if that's the demographic we're looking for. Gen Zs, they want it to be fast-paced, visually striking content, and social features. So it might be something I haven't thought about yet. And say DAO maximists or people that crypto enthusiasts, etc. They might want to know what transparency on how player contributions affect law and governance. So all things to take into consideration, which I think is pretty cool. Let's see. Maybe we'll jump in here and we can show what this, the idea of the prompt generating a video. I just stop sharing this for 1 second. What I'll do is share this one across, and you can see here this is our game. This is one of them that's come up. Looks pretty cool, right? Like, so this is based off the cinematic, the universe, obviously across time, and I think that's pretty cool. So utilizing some of the plugins like in our marketplace, this is the kind of stuff you'll be able to generate inside of the platform, and maybe you'll generate an agent that's specific to creating really something in line with whatever you're trying to do. Maybe you've got another one that's going to be making ads for another product that you have, or for your own social content. The idea being that each agent will be really honed in on the specific task that you're trying to do, and essentially be like a team member, right? So which is really, really cool. You're building out a team for each of your projects. Maybe one last example here, because I think it's very important. I think Mike's gonna love this one. Is that still not sharing anymore? I think I need to share my other screen here. Back to egg here. So maybe we've got one here called the community cultivator. We can add community cultivator in. I'm going to go back to I'll go back to the Lawweaver. This one's a little bit more expansive, and I'll copy and paste this in and see what ideas it gives to me for, how I can expand my community, what incentives I can bring. So it's given me some ideas. You can have weekly echo chamber gatherings. Players can share discoveries, theories, fan art. Maybe we could do some shared hunts, and discussion prompts to spark conversation. So if you could leave which civilizations mysteries resonate most with your own life journey and why? Also some engagement ideas and the tone and personality for your community messaging based on, what you're building. So that's all pretty cool. And as you can see, so here I've got a full team. I've got my co-founder. Actually, what I might do as well is I'm going to say to the egg painter here, generate me a title card for my game. And then I'm just going to copy in the lore, and we'll see what it comes up with for Echoes of Eternity. And if somebody wants to build this game in the community, please hit me up, because I'm actually thinking this sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, man. I was like, yeah, let's get a community grant going for this one.
Yeah. I mean, how cool would that be, man? Like walking through history. So here we go. Here we've got Echoes of Eternity. So that's the title card of the game, which I think is pretty cool. It's included like a lot of historical elements. You've got the Eye of Horus here, got the Triton here, very cool pyramids. And even some Greek. Yeah, what this is called, the Greek Parthenon. Anyway, very cool. So you get the general idea. Again, this is version 1. We've called this the Egg Intern Painter for a reason, because it's very much V1. But yeah, I guess that is I'm jumping through now. So that's pretty much the tutorial. I mean, you can switch languages. We've got Chinese and English on there at the moment. And I'm sure we'll build out. And as Sam mentioned, there's going to be a whole bunch of different agents that you can we've got one here that someone generated, which is like someone's generated Kevin Bacon. And we've got a bunch of different cool things. I saw a stand-up comedian one before, which was pretty funny. I ran through a few funny interactions with. So yeah, that's the general idea. Cooking on Egg. Again, we're going to keep building this out, guys.
And yeah, I want people testing your agents. Please, if you're making agents and cool agents, please, DM me on Discord, and I'll definitely choose some of my favorite ones to do some giveaways. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys getting busy and helping us test this thing. It's a huge, if we can get this going and get this built to where we want it to be from a technical and product standpoint, we think it's a really interesting product that really galvanizes our spot both in the AI and blockchain space.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just having a whole community and wider community being able to build this with us.
Yeah,
we
for sure, man.
And so cool, right? Because I've tried a lot of tools and I get into it, and usually it's a very a small group of people that get to sort of have their input at the start. And we're really encouraging everyone. And there's no bad ideas. What would you like to see? What do you want the interface to be like? What tools do you want? Do you want to see which specific model you're using? There'll be multiple image generation, for example. So, and again, as people build out and really refine their personal agents, maybe they want to share that, or you want to collaborate with people. It's blue ocean kind of thing. So we're really excited about it and really looking forward to all the ideas that roll in. But Stan, maybe we did have a bunch of questions from the community. Maybe we can speak to a few of those. So, on the branding front, man, what does Egg stand for? What was the inspiration for the symbolism?
Sorry, man. I just kicked myself out somehow.
That's all good. I think I've.
Yeah, no, I'd love to answer some questions. I have about 5-10 minutes. But we'll be back. We'll be back doing these shows at least twice a week. Looking to bring on external guests, but I think it's going to be fun. Tony and I kind of jumping on and showing you guys improvements and discussing, bringing people up to talk and discussing actually, your ideas on the product. And before I jump into just questions, this aligns with our Phoenix Plan revival. we're still working out how the economics work, given that we're still in test net. But we will be driving revenue from egg back to our accordance to the Phoenix Revival plan. So yeah, man, let's jump into some questions. And thanks for doing that tutorial, dude. That was awesome.
No worries, man. I've been having so much fun with it.
Right
Yeah,
on,
it's,
man.
it's super cool. Obviously, version 1 again, but yeah, it's going to be really cool as we're building it out. So, a lot of people are wanting to know the inspiration, or like what does egg stand for, and the inspiration for the symbolism. Where that concept come from, man?
Yeah, no. So Avra, our creative director, came up with the term egg. And she's very intuitive when it comes to brand and what will work for a kind of larger consumer audience. And Abner, the CEO, and I, we always, even before egg, text that we say to each other regularly on a basis is kind of "let's cook," So it's kind of like our company motto. Let's keep cooking. That we've said that a lot the last month. Let's cook.
Mhm.
So I was talking with Avra, and yeah, she came up with it fast. And I love the visual identity. I think the visual identity is super strong. We already have like some draft merchandise, and loads of our head of storytelling, Luke, and Avra have been really working on a bunch of different really cool memes and content assets for this. We think it's to have a consumer brand. We think it's very important to have something that is crossover and fun. And a lot of these marketplace or aggregators, in a sense, don't really have that consumer centric appeal. I don't think so. We want to have serious, really well built technology, but our brand that's fun, expressive, and original. I think it cuts through. So yeah, I hope that ends. And that was a good question. Thanks whoever asked that.
Yeah, very cool. I agree, man. Maybe we can speak a bit to the revenue model. Like, is it subscription based, ad supported? Does it involve other monetization strategies?
Yeah, good question. I think we're still kind of fine tuning how that works, but you know, according to kind of phase 2 of our plan is we want that there will be always a freemium version of egg. But then there will be a pay to play for the more premium kind of experiences and tokens, to be able to utilize all the great tools in our plugins. And the aim is to really focus on incentives for people to actually pay in ZKJ. I think if we can kill two birds with one stone of creating a really solid revenue driving business, but then also have ZKJ as a payment endpoint. Yeah, it really drives our initiative, which is obviously growing the token and building revenue to support our token and our community. That's really what we're here for and what we're willing to do. So there'll be a freemium model, but we do want to get to revenue, right? And that's a big priority of ours. We want to cut through, get out of testnet, get to mainnet, and get these monetization features in, and really double down and grow this into a profitable global business.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. And I think through your chatting, you've answered a lot of these questions, actually, like a lot of the core ones that people are asking about, like how it fits back into ZKJ and our broader
Yeah.
ecosystem. I think that we've touched on that a lot. And
I mean, I
the
can touch on
impact.
how the tech integrates. I was reading through the questions earlier, and I saw,
Mhm.
is this kind of a departure from EXP chain and ZKML and these other things? Like, I was just thinking, I've been having so many discussions. In the background, we've got some really exciting stuff happening on a finance product, and also on our ZKML our ZKML MVP. But in a lot of these conversations, right, like, you know, how to call, you know, people are building out digital workforces now. So people are actually kind of designing agents and then putting them to work for corporations. You know, so in the future, I believe, you know, sensitive industries such as finance, medical, um, robotics, all these different industries are going to have to be, you know, have to fall into the compliance that, you know, basically ZKML and cryptographic tools provide. And you know, our idea is, you know, not just external AI tools, but we want to build internal AI tools with our verifiable AI stack. So, you know, if you're sitting in, you know, you're sitting in Bali and you see an advertisement that a company wants, you know, a series of AI agents, you know, trained, you know, for their new AI hospital, you know, you'll be able to come and actually, actually print out, create, you know, monetize verifiable AI agents, you know, through our platform. So, you know, it's not just importing the external tools, the AI tools. I mean, that's exciting for a whole number of reasons, for user experience, for co-marketing, for everything else. But it's also the fact that, you know, we really think we do have the framework for the most important infrastructure and verifiable, you know, AI agents. And are not even thinking about that yet. But, you know, it's like, you know, I've said this before, it's like cars without seat belts. It's like, you know, when there wasn't warning signs on cigarettes, you know, when there wasn't a drinking limit or age limit, or, you know, this shit's new, right? So, you know, I just want to be very clear there that this plays back to EXP chain, ZKML, and all of our other or about all of our other native tooling will end up plugging into this, you know, consumer kind of facing end game being egg.
Awesome, man. I love it. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for the time, Sam. I think that should pretty much wrap it up. I know that you are literally on the road in between meetings.
Yeah, no,
So I don't want
I'm on the road. I've got to keep going, guys. But Tony, thank you so much. You know, guys, DM me, send me your agents that you're creating. Please send feedback. You know, we'll do another show. We'll do another show either later this week or early next week of going through kind of more, you know, I'd like that show to kind of be talking about more like, you know, more like a product meeting where we get people up to stage and you guys give us ideas and thoughts and kind of collaboration points on how to build this out. You know, I feel the community that's with us now really believe in us. I consider you guys my friends. You know, I wanna, you know, we're gonna build out of this. And egg 0.1. You know, it's pretty exciting day for us. This is the first kind of part of a new chapter. So thanks again, Tony. You're the man, dude.
Beautiful,
Really
man. Likewise, my
appreciated
bro.
really appreciated the tutorial and yeah, peace out, everyone.
Awesome. See you guys. See you next
See you
time.
guys. Bye bye.